Hello and welcome. Today is that of Tuesday, 7th day of November 2017. Welcome. My name is Derek. Let's do a hashtag crypto trading video. And let's start off with just a little bit of the alts. Ethereum Classic, which has made a break of this resistance on the above the 18 average on the daily term time frame, is making a statement that wants to revert the trend. Sort of like it made a statement back here that it wanted to, and then the correctionary phase failed. Well, it's established the resistance at 21 change. If it wants to establish further, it can, and we'll see how well it works within the correctionary phase. Everything you do within this video is within your own risk and your own reward. I'm going to talk a little bit about the SegWit2x, the fork, which is going to be occurring in roughly 9 days or the following Thursday from now. I'll put a link to this in the more information box. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that within this as well because it does mean a lot. But Bitcoin's in a whatever state that I really have to wait for it to show me its hand so I can play my hand. Because I think a lot of it is going to come down towards this. Litecoin on the daily time frame, which after making a nice leg lower from this level here at the 10 handle towards in here, I see a move that's to this 18 average, the 18 average of highs, and this previous level of 88, something to be aware of. But if we look at this on, say, a 400-minute time frame with a 5-day moving average, here's a situation where over the this amount of periods in here was going sideways. Even though it had this break below like it was going to sell off, it was just a move down to the lower end of the range. But the real break occurred on this period in here. The break, of course, coming in at 793, and so far it has held this period. It's over 7 hours, so it's been 2 hours into this period holding this gain. If we take a look at this on the 1 hour time frame, there definitely looks to be reason why this could have a decent gain higher further, because when you break a key level of resistance, what you need to do is hold and stay above it, and it's doing such. So it can come back down to like 778 and then rally higher 20-30 minutes later, and that's normal. But when you see it holding and staying above these key areas, then you can make case for this to be going further to a key future resistance level. And there's a low here at 88 upwards to about the 100 key level. So those are marks that could be tested. Now we take a look at this on the Bitcoin chart. And this is the 400-minute time frame. Definitely this red candle is starting to go a little bit lower than it was for most of this day. It looks like it might want to fall below this 18 average. Keyword is might, but if you see action down towards 68, you can expect altcoins to have a nice pump, and you can probably see this to either A, have a move somewhere in betweening this level of support and this level of resistance, or just maybe even go to that resistance as well. If it goes in between this, it would be a test of the 18 average on the daily time frame. And that is a possibility. But for me, I know with the fork coming in 9 days, I'm going to play this regardless of what it's going to bring up. I don't care if it's going to be hearts, diamonds, clubs, or spades. Whatever is dealt on the deck of cards is dealt. Whatever the market does is what the market does. Ideally for me is within the next 3 days, price action coming down to, I think, where's my lowest buy order? 4,800? Would come down to 4,800, I guess. It could go to 44, fine, but then I would end up buying back everything that I sold in here, but more so, I sold a lot more in here than I did in here. And I'd buy that back. And I would also notice that the altcoins that I do hold would be giving me some tremendous gains along the way. And this would be so ideal because my altcoins would be rising for me. I, again, would get out of my US dollar tether, which would be really nice and fascinating because a move down here would be a move to the 18 average lows on the Bitcoin chart. And I could then have the possibility or the situation to be able to be close to 100% Bitcoin, because I could sell altcoin, and then position myself to start buying alternate coins 5-10 minutes before the fork. Yes, beforehand. And the reason why beforehand is because people are going to be selling off alternate coins to get their Bitcoins. And in the last two previous forks in October and on the 1st of August, it seemed it was very common for a 20% push from right before the fork to just a little thereafter. But that's pretty much what the gain right now is on the future markets for BTX. This is on HIT BTC. Now, if Bitcoin doesn't do that, and let's assume it ends up having a failed situation, fast move. The failed situation is not resisting or resisting very little where it's supposed to, and it's supposed to where it's here. That means you probably have a decent move higher. And this with the enthusiasm for people to even maybe want the C2X coin. It could very easily give you more reason why it would go to about 10K. And I talked about 8,000 before, and I'd be very surprised if it were to break resistance and only go to 8, because that would only be about a 7% gain. To me, that's child's play. If you're going to not find resistance where you're supposed to here, and this is long-term analysis, then you gotta think 50% given this type of volatility. 50% on 75, that's noticeably over 10,000. And if price action is at 10,000, how enthusiastic are you to buy at that price to get that 20% gain? I think if it does go there, you would get a very harsh correction. I still think that it would probably go down to 5 grand from 10 or 6,000. Because no matter what, a decent down move is going to happen. It's either going to come now, and of course now means this today or this week, whatever, or it's going to have to come sometime later on. And the more something of this event is delayed, the bigger the fall that it's going to be. So therefore, I'll let the market play out as it does. But I do have in my mindset that I want to get into alternate coins like I was in the spring and even into the summer. And that's where I make Bitcoin, by buying alternate coins and selling them. And I think the probability for very good gains is on the horizon. And a lot of it seems to be post-fork. Now, I think with a lot of these alternate coins, you're going to notice some of them have already started going up or will start going up maybe post-fork. Some will start doing so in maybe December, January, or February. But I do think there's a lot of opportunity available, and that's the position that I'm getting myself in. So I realize if I find ways of just putting some of my Bitcoin into altcoins pre-fork, I have a good shot at doing a lot of buys with these coins at maybe all-time lows or lows of the year or lows of the last 6 months kind of deal, and get a lot of decent gains along the way. So I don't know what position I'll be in, because if the market comes down to these lower levels, there's a good chance I'm going to be back to close to 100% Bitcoin. But there is absolutely no way, as this thing rises, that I could be such, because I am expecting retracements to occur at some point. So for now, that's what how I'm looking at this. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.